I'm going to say one thing. Fuck Trump. It's no longer down with Trump. It's fuck Trump.
No buildup, no warning, one sentence, and suddenly the internet explodes. Because what started as one line turned into one of the most brutal public takedowns of a presidential figure we've seen in years.
He's a dog. He's a pig. He's a con, a bullshit artist, a mutt who doesn't know what he's talking about, doesn't do his homework, doesn't care, thinks he's gaming society, doesn't pay his taxes. He's an idiot. Colin Powell said it best. He's a national disaster. He's an embarrassment to this country. It makes me so angry that this country has gotten to this point, that this fool, this bozo, has wound up where he has. He talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face. This is somebody that we want for president? I don't think so. What I care about is the direction of this country. And what I'm very, very worried about is that it might go in the wrong direction with someone like Donald Trump.
Now pause for a second, because this isn't some random rant going viral. This is Robert De Niro, Hollywood royalty, decades of legendary performances, a face people instantly recognize, and now, a voice that just lit a match under one of the most divided political landscapes in modern history. But to really understand why this is blowing up right now, we need to break down what actually happened and why people are reacting so strongly. Over the past day, clips of this moment have been circulating again across social media. TikTok, X, YouTube, everywhere. Some people are seeing it for the first time, others remember it, but say it hits differently now. And that's the key. Because context changes everything. A clip that might have felt like just another celebrity rant years ago now feels like something much bigger, more intense, more serious, and way more polarizing.
Yeah, he's so stupid. Look at the lame, inane things that he said. He's so stupid, he can't even say anything clever or smooth. He's a moron. But he's a scary one. And in all seriousness, and we know it here, people have to get out and vote and vote and vote and vote.
Yeah. One time each. Do you think he pretends to be dumber than he is to confuse people and make them think? No, you think he's
no. I don't think so.
Why do you think? I'm curious why you would guess that there's a big group of people in this country who believe that he cares about them.
I am totally dumbfounded, baffled by that. I can't understand it, and it's a thing that we've seen over decades and decades, and he's a what's it, Tammy Faye and the other one?
Yes.
It's the same thing, give us your money, we're gonna save you. Yeah, televangelist. It's just the same thing, and it's so obvious. I just don't understand people could buy it. I just don't know. It's all an act in a certain way. It's all out of insecurity. He's deeply, deeply insecure. He is a malignant narcissist. He's a socio-psychopath. He's created some new language as far as describing somebody in his mental condition.
At this point, you can already feel it escalating. This isn't structured criticism. It's not polished. It's raw. It's emotional. And it keeps building. Because what starts as name-calling quickly turns into something much more aggressive. That line right there, that's when people stop scrolling. Because now it's not just political disagreement. It feels personal. And moments like that, whether meant literally or not, are exactly what fuel viral reactions. Supporters hear it one way, critics hear it another, but everyone reacts. So if you're thinking, okay, that's probably as intense as it gets. Nope, not even close. Because this is where the entire tone of the rant shifts, and it goes from aggressive to something a lot more unsettling. This is a completely different level. We've moved past insults. Now we're in psychological labeling territory. And that's where things get complicated. Because once you start assigning terms like that, the conversation stops being about opinions and starts becoming about identity, character, and mental fitness. That's not just controversial, it's explosive. But even that isn't where it peaks, because the next part introduces something even heavier: fear of what could happen next. That statement hits differently, because now we're not talking about personality, we're talking about democracy, about systems, about what happens after elections, and whether leaders follow the rules. This is where the tone of the conversation shifts from emotional to almost apocalyptic. That comparison carries weight, especially coming from Robert De Niro. This is someone who built an entire career portraying organized crime figures. He understands that world, at least artistically. So when he uses that analogy, it's not just for effect. It's meant to frame how he sees behavior, loyalty, and power. And whether that comparison is fair or not, that's exactly what people are now arguing about. Up until now, the target has been clear. But then, the focus changes. And suddenly, it's not just about Trump anymore. This might actually be the most controversial part of the entire rant, because criticizing a public figure, that's expected. But questioning millions of voters, that's where things get personal, fast. And this is where you can almost see the divide forming in real time. One side hears frustration, the other hears dismissal. One side hears concern, the other hears disrespect. Same words, completely different interpretations, but somehow, even that isn't the end of it. Because De Niro isn't just calling out Trump or voters, he goes one level higher. Now the spotlight is on politicians themselves, elected officials, decision makers, people who, in his view, could act, but aren't. And this is where the rant turns into something broader than one individual. It becomes about accountability. That question hits on something deeper: legacy. Not just what happens now, but how it's remembered later. History books, future generations, and whether today's choices hold up over time. That's a powerful emotional argument, and one that resonates differently depending on who's listening. At this point, the energy changes again. The anger fades slightly. The tone becomes heavier, more serious, almost reflective. This doesn't feel like a rant anymore. It feels like concern, genuine concern. Whether you agree or disagree, it's clear he believes what he's saying. And that sincerity? That's part of why this moment is spreading so fast. So let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. A single resurfaced moment turns into a viral explosion. A celebrity statement transforms into a national conversation. And once again, Donald Trump is right at the center of it all. But here's the thing. This isn't just about what was said. It's about timing. It's about tension. It's about a country that's already divided, reacting to something that pours fuel directly on that divide. Supporters of Trump are calling this disrespectful, out of touch, another example of Hollywood elites attacking him. Critics are saying it's honest, it's overdue, and it reflects real concerns people have been expressing for years. And in the middle, millions of people just watching it unfold, trying to decide what they think. And it's not like this came out of nowhere. Robert De Niro has been outspoken for years. He's referenced figures like Colin Powell. He's made comments at public events. He's never exactly been quiet about his views. But something about this moment feels different, more intense, more amplified. So why now? Why is this clip suddenly everywhere again? It comes down to three things. 1. Timing. Political tensions are already high. 2. Clarity. No ambiguity in what he's saying. 3. Emotion. Raw, unfiltered delivery. That combination, it spreads fast. And here's the reality. Moments like this don't just disappear. They ripple. They get shared, clipped, reposted, reinterpreted. They become part of a larger conversation that keeps evolving. So whether you see this as justified or completely over the line, one thing is certain: people are paying attention. Now I want to hear from you. Did Robert De Niro go too far? Or did he just say what a lot of people were already thinking? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you want more breakdowns like this. And stay tuned, because the next story we're covering might be even more intense.